microphone decided to be a bitch, and it didn't record the way it was supposed to record. So I'm sorry for the very bad quality audio that this video is going to have, but yeah, I mean, there's not much I can do right now, and I feel like the only take I did was the good one, so I'm sorry. You will have to stick with that. Bye bye. So I made a fan film with a few friends, and it was chaotic, hilarious, and honestly probably one of the best experiences in my life. But let's proceed with order. In case you don't know me, hi! My name is Matilda, I am 20, I study in Milan, I live in Italy, and I'm mostly here to talk about my life and what I do, and random experiences that I feel like are worth sharing. And one of these is something that I never thought could happen to me, but yeah, I mean, it happened, which is I co-wrote, sort of produced, and I acted in a short film, or should I say a fan film. The fan film in question is A Doorway to the Past, a Marauders story. It is about the Marauders, who are characters from the Harry Potter universe. That's why we talk about a fan film. I think that the best way to talk about this whole experience is to start from the very, very beginning. So I had this friend in Rome for a few years now, that is Sirio, director and co-screenwriter of the film, that messaged me on TikTok, I guess, after we lost contact for a few years. He wrote in my DMs in August of last year. He was like, I saw you have a TikTok profile only about the Marauders, and I would like to ask you if you are interested in joining a project that will lead to a fan film. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's big, that's massive. At first I was like, yeah, why not? I mean, it's gonna be something fun. But I never thought it was about to be this fun and this like fulfilling and overwhelming, but in a good way. From that moment on, we were like 100% involved in the project. I remember like spending hours and hours on not just writing, which was probably the easiest thing to do at that point, but also looking for actors, looking for people that knew like how this world works. And luckily, Sirio is passionate about cinema enough to know how it kind of works, so how you kind of film something. And luckily, I am a person that really writes a lot, so it came naturally for him to ask me like, do you want to write? We already had some people that wanted to act in the short film, but at that point we were missing like key characters, and through a lot of messaging and a lot of call for actors and really a bit of struggle, we found our perfect cast, mostly made of Italian people, mostly from Rome, but that also features 2 international actors. They were like the cherry on top because they are really talented actors and they already worked in the field, so they were really like super happy of joining us, and we were so happy to make them join. This whole process of knowing people and creating a group of actors really started to make a relationship happen between all of us. And after a while, after a lot of video calls and messages and talks, we really realized that as a group we sort of like worked really well, and that led to such a nice family dynamic, I would say, because when we tend to get very emotional about this, now that a few months has passed, but we tend to say like, we sort of give out the chosen family vibe that is really like enriching and something like that makes me feel grateful about all of the things that happened that led me to where I am and we are now. So the writing process wasn't really the hardest part of it all. It was more like managing a group of people. Because sometimes people weren't like answering messages, and sometimes we tried to organize and divide tasks between us all, and sometimes people didn't understand what we were asking, and that created a few of like problems, but a lot of laughs also. Then it came like the let's say engineering of the social media communication. That was a tricky one too, because we had to figure out what people wanted, what we could do to attract interest in such a project that was really like not the only one in the field, we could say. Overall, we were also like very, very lucky, because we got in a moment into the Marauders fandom in which like people were really open to video content, into fan film content. But not only that, we were lucky even outside the fandom, let's say, because we found at a certain point, after months and months of research, the perfect location. The location was a house near Rome, and that is when we realized, oh my god, this is happening. Wow, this is huge, this is big. I cannot describe in detail how emotional it was to meet everyone in that house for the first time. We spent 4 days together, 24 hours, sharing the same spaces with people that I only met like online, never once in my life. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess you can imagine how good and how emotional it all felt. Now, I wouldn't say it was heavenly, because of course when you share a lot of time with people that you know even not that much, it can create like fights, or in general like living together problem sort of things, roommates problem we can say. But it was really, 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 really worth it in the end. One thing that I feel like it keeps me going inside this project is the friendships that came because of it. That, and also like the reactions from the viewers and the other members of the Marauders fandom. Because since there are not a lot of products out there about this subgroup of the Harry Potter fandom, viewers, community members tend to be really affectionate and really enthusiastic about new things that come up. And yeah, the amount of love that I've received, not just as like an actress inside the movie, and by the way, I'm playing Harry Potter's mother, Lily. Also, I think I need to show you my t-shirt, where I will do it later. It's a t-shirt that the director made for all of us. On my back is written Moonlight Production, which is the name of our production and the name of my character, of course. Yeah, I'm also like super grateful for the people that supported us from day one, and we just recently reached a nice amount of followers on TikTok, which is still like extraordinary to me. But yeah, I think we deserved it, because all of us put a very like important amount of work into the project in itself. I want to dedicate a few minutes to talk about my favorite moments, and also if you see me looking that way is because I have a little bit of a script going on my computer. A moment I loved of the filming, because that is really the core of this whole video, like the experience of filming it and everything that comes with it. A moment in which I was reading again and again and again the script, because I felt like something was off. I wasn't really convinced about a few things, and I remember that Cyril and John were shooting one of the last scenes, and while I was reading it, I was like, stop, everyone, stop, I don't like this, I want to change it. And I had like 5 minutes to change it, and I started like to be so focused in what I was doing. I remember like shutting the world out, and I don't know, I felt like a damn superhero, because in 5 minutes I came out with like most well-written scene in the whole movie. It might sound a little lame for people because that was definitely not the striking scene of the whole film, but like it really felt important to me, because I realized I was kind of good at what I was doing, because if I can come up with a new line in 5 minutes that I really like also, well, that means I'm capable of doing this. And for a person that doesn't have a lot of like self-esteem, that was really a real boost. Overall, this project that is finally out for the world to see really has changed my perspective on so many things, like what happens when you don't put creative boundaries on yourself, when you let yourself experiment with different mediums. Moreover, I think I proved to myself that when you are in doubt about being capable or not of doing something, you just have to try. Because even if you don't know much about what you're doing, if you never studied for it, or even if you have never like looked into it the way it is needed to make it professional, let's say, it doesn't mean that you don't have the skills to come up with a solution anyway. And that is something that we really needed, because we had a few difficulties through the whole process, because we are beginners, of course, and we managed still. And I think that is the biggest achievement for me. None of us ever did something as big as what we did now, in terms of self-organization, coordination, and creative process, I would say. We all studied our characters, we all studied what was needed to really give to the camera, and not just the camera, our best. If you're interested in seeing the movie now, which I hope you are, I will link it in the description box. And yeah, that was it. If you have any questions, I would be glad to answer them. That was me. I hope you have a good day, good night, good afternoon, good morning, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!